and you're still in utter shock and disbelief, and he seems to think that all of this was normal, and also it's not weird that you're practically half his age. Put a finger down if 2 months ago you were on a trip to Dallas and you and your mom decided to go out and celebrate because of why you were there, and you're out having fun and you meet this really nice guy and you sing karaoke with him and you guys hang out all night and he gives you his phone number and his Snapchat and you guys call each other almost every day and you text for the next 2 months and everything's going great and you're like, hey, are you sure you want to do long distance? And he's like, yeah, I mean, if it keeps going well, like I can transfer to Atlanta next May, whatever. And you're like, okay, cool, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So it's 2 weeks before you're supposed to come visit. Your friend comes to visit and everything's still going great. He sent you $200. You guys can go shopping. He ordered you a new Lululemon bag because yours got rusted when you went to the beach. And he tells you he's going to bring it with him when he comes to visit. Everything's going great. Then about 3 days before he's supposed to come visit, you're like, he hasn't texted you good morning, and you're used to him waking up late because he works night shift. But he starts screenshotting stuff, and you're like, what the heck is going on? So you're like, hey, what are you screenshotting? Just curious. To which you open a text, and it says, oh, this is his wife. Did he not tell you he's been married for 15 years? And you think that it's some kind of crazy practical joke, and you can't believe it. So you call him, and his wife answers, to which she starts calling you lots of names, and she tells you that he is not 28 like he told you, he's 36 and he's been married for 15 years, and also that he has 2 kids that are 8 and 14, so his oldest child is only 7 years younger than you. So you still kind of can't believe it, so your best friend calls his phone number again while his wife still has his phone, and she answers. You talk to her for 20 minutes. She tells you that he told her that he was going on a bachelor trip and that he asked her to help him dye his beard because he wanted to look good. The cruise that he told you he went on with his friends from high school was actually a family trip, and that he has cheated on her 4 times before, and she proceeds to then again call you names and simultaneously telling you it's not your fault, and you are just sitting there in shock because you have no idea how this happened, but all of his lies had a lie that lined up. And so she tells you to never talk to her husband again, and you're like, okay, and she's like, I really would appreciate it if you don't have any a relationship with him any longer, to which you're like, why would I want that after all of these things I find out? So later on, when you know that he has his phone back, you text him and you say, care to explain yourself? So he calls you and you talk to him for about 15 minutes and you ask him what his plan was with all of this, and he tells you that the plan was that the trip went well when he came to visit, that when he got home he was going to file for divorce from his wife, and acts like you're supposed to be happy about that. And so then you ask him like, hey, what about your kids? And he's like, well, they would be taken care of, and you know, if you ever find out about them, at least they'd have a good stepmom. And you're like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, did you think that I was just never going to find out about this? To which he tells you, well, I figured if it had been long enough and you found out about it, that you just wouldn't care. And you're still in utter shock and disbelief, and he seems to think that all of this was normal, and also it's not weird that you're practically half his age. And so now you still don't really know what the hell just happened or what's going on, and you tell him that you never want to see him or talk to him or hear from him again, and that he can go to hell.
It's quite a crazy kind of story, that, because I mean there's lots of points to get into. First of all, this woman, she's chatting to some man, quite clearly likes him, they're going back and forth on a plan to meet, and so she's probably got feelings for him, and she's like, can't wait to meet you, all this talking all the time. So that's one thing. So she's had her, this fantasy of, to meet a man and married and family and all this. She's had that dashed, just cut out her life, because obviously it's not going to happen now, is it, after what she's just said? You've got the wife and the kids of the man who, is a disgusting thing to do. It's cheating, really. At the end, the woman said, can you no longer have a relationship with my husband? But the wife sounds like, from them words, that she's going to let him off. At least, to be honest, she's going to let him off and they're going to be fine and carry on. It's just that the wife doesn't want the husband to talk to this woman. That's can be a complicated thing. It's not as easy as, breaking up with someone, when there's kids involved and financials and all that. Don't know what their life looks like. It kind of sounds like the man in this situation has come out the best, which is weird to think, because if he's been let off by, not let off, but it's kind of let off by his wife. He's still got his kids. He's obviously not went on to meet this woman because, she's found out and she said, no, go away, and probably blocked him and all that. And this man's life just goes back to what it was 3 months ago before he met her. But then this woman's got to go through the thing of, you know, I really liked him, I've got to move past this, I've got to get back out there, I've got to talk to more people, blah, blah, blah. His wife now knows that he was trying to cheat on her, you know, even though he's got kids, a house, family and all that. So yeah, it's weirdly in this entire situation, it appears that he's come out the best, which is the guilty party, is what anyone wants really. You know, he's the horrible one who's done the horrible things and tried to do even more horrible things, and yeah, just odd. You know, if you've got a wife, you've got a husband, or any partner, you've got kids, or whatever, you're in a committed relationship. And you know, it's not that difficult, is it really? Yeah, if you want him to talk to different people and be with different people, just break up, because it's that simple. You don't need to talk to other people because, as I said, you know, the wife gets hurt, this woman gets hurt. No one wins, really. Well, I'd say that. I've just been talking about how he's won the situation, but he hasn't really won. You know, but he hasn't lost like the other two. Yeah, I think he needs to book his ideas up and start acting proper and treat his wife with respect and his kids with respect. You know, and this woman, well, don't talk to this woman anymore, but you know, just don't do what you're doing because it's not proper, is it? It's not right, and it should be something no one does.